and welcome back, loyal viewers and new, soon to be loyal viewers. We're continuing the makeover of the backyard swamp, hence the boots. You see, there was a string contraption kind of as a divider or a warning fence, I guess, security. We decided to upgrade it from a rope to a plastic chain. A little easier to see, a little more definitive as far as stay out. Also, we're going to put up signs and just did a simple installment using nails and turning them up through the hooks. You can see we laid it out first on the ground and then installed the hooks and put it up. Basic layout is just trying to make sure that the deepest parts of the pond are clearly distinguished, and that way hopefully no one will fall in. So this is a swamp after a lot of rains. It is April after all, and if you look closely you will soon catch a glimpse of the final security fence division thing and the entire backyard slash swamp area. Pay close attention. You'll see the pile of pallets we've begun to collect. Where did they come from, you say? And what will we use them for? You shall see. The floating deck slash dance floor construction has begun. Once again, on a budget. Quick pan down to the bridge built last and painted, and all the pathways, footpaths still underwater. I mean, when it rains, it seriously rains. The little minnows were swimming over the footpath. It was funny. So it is April. That's what's supposed to happen. Fortunately, we had a family friend tell us about this great pallet source, this paper distributor company in town. We loaded up 2 SUVs and took off. They're free, of course. They're in great condition. They're a little smaller than usual, so that actually worked out in our favor. Put them on top of cinder blocks since it is a floating deck. That's what it means. It's not necessarily tied in by any wood. It's not framed out. The pallets themselves are going to be the base, and then when the plywood goes on top, that makes it more sure. Before that even happens, we have to try to even out the pallets as much as possible. I mean, we're dealing with muck and mud, so we move things around and very scientifically and professionally jumped on those that were too high and tried to build up those that were too low. And there we go. Pretty much it's flat. So we started bringing out the pieces of plywood. Slight problem. Some of them are 3/4 inch thick. Some of them are 1/2 inch thick. That difference is a bit of a problem if it's going to be a dance floor, because you don't want people to have a tripping hazard. So I try to lay these out in the best way possible. It took a few times reconfiguring to try to see how we could get the most out of the 4 sheets of plywood. Plywood is not cheap, guys. So that this is free on Craigslist is amazing. This guy was so nice. So I finally decided on how it was going to be laid out, what would be the best. Mom had a great suggestion in taking strips of the thinner board, the scrap piece that we had, and putting it basically at the seam where the thinner board meets the thicker board. I think I have a picture that shows that a little bit better coming up, but this is the basic layout. There are 2 going horizontally and then 2 going vertically, but you'll see it closer up. Then we're going to screw it down in place, and you wouldn't believe how solid it makes everything. Once it is screwed down in place, then yeah, it'll be even more stable. Here's some close-up pictures of the strips that I was talking about being made, measured out, how thick we want each one to be. I can't remember the exact measurement at the moment, but if you have this problem, which I hope you don't, I hope you get all of your wood the same thickness, because that would be the smarter move. But once again, this is donated, so we did what we could. After I measured them out and used 2x4 or 2x6, I think, as a straight edge to draw the lines connecting where I measured them out, then my dad, our professional circular saw man, followed those lines, cut the strips up. Once the strips were cut up, we were ready to screw the deck in place, because yeah, it came out a lot more even. It's kind of like a bit of a ramp where the seam is, where the two pieces of wood meet, so that on the lower side, the 1/2 inch has that bit of wood you see there to help the transition be a little bit smoother. So once that was down and I walked on the board with my socks, because I was really fanatical, because we're leaving it the natural color, so I did not want footprints on it. So I made my dad stand in the mud. He had boots on, and he spread the waterproofer over it after I walked off of it.